getting your lure down to where the fish are at. The fish are usually down anywhere from 10 to 50 to sometimes 80 feet down, depending on the time of year that you're out there. So I just want to talk a little bit about the methods, how we get the lures down to where the fish are at certain times of the year. So I think everyone knows one of the best ways to do it is to run dipsy divers. Dipsy divers come in all different sizes. You got your mags, you got one size down, you got these little cookies here. Depending on your desired depth and what time of year you're out there at, you'll be using either one of these guys. Basically what these guys do is you attach your main line to the clip here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to attach your leader to the end of this thing. Now everyone does it differently. That's the beauty of this sport, is you can do whatever you want to do and see what works for you. I usually put about a 3-foot lead behind these guys, and then you'll have your flasher or your spoon or whatever bait you choose to be using that day. So basically underneath here we got a weight and we got a dial, and the weight swings from left to right, and there's a 3, 2, 1, 0 setting on these guys. So basically if you have this on a 0 setting, it's going to dive straight down beside the boat. If you want it to dive out to the left, obviously you turn it to the left. If you put it on a 1 setting, it's going to dive slightly out to the left. If you put it on a 3 setting, it's going to dive a lot further out to the left. It's going to pull a lot harder. You got to remember, the harder out it pulls, it's not going to dive as far. So obviously on a 0 setting, you're going to get the most depth or diving ability out of it. But you're also right beside the boat. So these guys here, great. You don't need downriggers to use these. Anyone can go out and buy a few of these, and you're good to go. The other way that there's 2 other ways. The other one way is to use lead core or weighted line. So the way that works is basically you're using line that actually sinks depending on how far out you put it. So it's a sheathing, the lead core has a sheathing with lead in the middle of it, and that lead is what weighs down the line, which weighs down your bait at the end of it. The more line you put out, the further it's going to go. So usually lead core lines are, they come in different colors. So you get a 2-color, a 3-color, a 4-color, a 5-color, all the way up to 10, 12, whatever desired depth you're looking for. They usually go down about 5 feet per color, and each color is usually about 50 feet. So that's a good way. There's also copper. So we use a lot of copper out there, and it's the same premises. The more you put out, then it's measured in 400 copper, 300 copper, 200 copper. So weighted line is definitely another way of getting around having to buy downriggers and getting out there without downriggers. So yeah, the third way of basically getting your lure down to where those fish are at is your downriggers. Basically what it is you have a 8, 10, 12, 14 pound weight with a couple of clips on it, which you attach your line to, and then you send that weight down, and it brings your lure down. So basically you put your lure in the water like as if you're just fishing, let out 30, 50 feet of line, maybe not even that much. And then you're going to just attach it to the clip of this 14-pound ball, and then you're going to send that ball down, and it's going to take your lure down and then to the desired depth, 20, 25 feet, and then that lure is going to be spinning. Your line's hooked into a clip, and when a fish bites the lure, it's going to pull that line out of the clip, and you're going to be on. It's, in my opinion, the most fun way of doing it. The only thing is the downriggers can be a bit pricey, and you got to set them up. And so again, maybe a little more advanced fisherman, or if you really like it, if you're catching fish with your dipsies and your weighted line and you're like, okay, I want a rigger, or you might just start off with riggers. It doesn't really matter how you do it, but that's one of my favorite ways of doing it, is the downrigger bite.